Hello everyone, I am Prem Mishra, student of GH Raisoni College of Engineering Nagpur, welcoming you all in my final capstone video of EV201 EV powertrain. In this comprehensive video, we will dive into various complexities of this remarkable powertrain by exploring its key components, innovative technologies and engineering principles that makes up a stand in an EV industry. Throughout this video, we will also discuss design consideration, manufacturing process and actual hardware setup that ensures EV powertrain. So let's have a look on my EV prototype. Let us start with level 2. In this level, we have built a primitive DC motor consisting of a coil of insulated wire, two strong neodymium magnets, cell, two safety pins, etc. This primitive motor works on Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, which states that a changing magnetic field can induce an EMF or voltage in a conductor. So this is how a primitive DC motor works. Let's look on its working. This motor typically consists of rotor bearing, two neodymium magnets, MS bolt, copper wire and breadboard, etc. The arrangement and connections of the motor are done as shown in the figure. The stator windings are wounded with complete 200 tons of 25 copper gauge wire for generation of uniform magnetic field. The stator windings are star connected here. When one of the stator winding is energized with the DC current, it creates an electromagnet that generates a magnetic field. This magnetic field interacts with permanent magnetic field of rotor, creating a torque that causes the rotor to rotate. As the rotor rotates, the stator winding are energized in specific sequence, creating a rotating magnetic field that keeps the rotor spinning. The issues that I have faced during this level are due to unequal distance between these poles and the magnet. The rotor was not rotating due to connection of loose jumpers. So to rectify this, I have arranged these poles in such a way that the distance between these poles and magnets are uniform. Also replace the loose jumpers with tight connections. The very next level we are moving towards is BMS, which stands for Battery Management System, that manages and monitors a rechargeable battery pack or a battery system. The primary functions of BMS are cell monitoring, cell balancing, thermal management, communication, and emergency start and stop the motor. The status information provided by BMS includes battery voltage, individual cell voltage, battery current, battery temperature, and state of charge. This is BMS Arduino. This is current sensor. This is NTC temperature sensor. This is DST sensor. This is kill switch. This is fuse. Contactors are connected here. And this is 12-volt input supply to the BMS. Let's have a briefing on thermal management system. The thermal management system in a BMS is responsible for maintaining battery pack within an optimal temperature range to ensure its safe and efficient operation. It mainly consists following components like NTC temperature sensor, cooling system, heat system, control unit, heat sink, etc. Primary goals of a thermal management system are to prevent overheating, to avoid excess cooling, to maintain the optimal temperature range, and improve energy efficiency. Now moving towards the next and the significant part of this powertrain, that is I2C communication. The connection for the same are as shown here. The I2C communication protocols are done to communicate between a motor Arduino and a BMS Arduino. It is used to facilitate the exchange of data and commands between the two Arduinos. Here, the BMS Arduino acts as a master which initiates the communication and controls the whole bus. Meanwhile, the motor Arduino acts as a slave which responds to this master command. Now, switching towards the final level of this remarkable powertrain, I am happy and thrilled to present my final capstone project that showcases the pinnacle of innovation, efficiency, and sustainable mobility. This is how all the connections are made with three PCBs as shown. In this final level of assembling of motor controller, we have used three PCBs which consist of P and N channel MOSFETs. According to the instructions given, we have soldered P and N channel MOSFETs to transistors, resistors, and extra pins on PCBs. These are the phase out wires taken out from each windings and connected on the PCB. These are the digital connections that are connected on the PCBs. These all are the ground connections. These two are these two are the analog wires which are used for I2C communication between BMS Arduino and motor controller Arduino. To energize each winding, I have named the winding as U, V, W. Also maintain the same phase sequence for PCB connections to make the rotor rotate in a particular direction. The process begins by activating the MOSFETs Q1 and Q6. This energizes the two coil U and coil W. Coil U repels a magnet while coil W attracts the same magnet. The opposing force of repulsion from coil U and attraction to coil W makes the push and pull motion to the rotor. Same process is followed for energizing other two coils to rotate the rotor. The simultaneous activation and deactivation of the coils makes the motor run as per the phase sequence we have done in these PCBs. So this is how a 3-pole BLDC motor actually works. Here I conclude with my explanation of my prototype built by me. Thank you.